Happy Sunday, everybody. We are in slightly relaxed mode today. Happy Sunday. Hello. Oh my gosh, look at all the peeps here. Sandra. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Thelma. Hi, Robin. Yes, Steve got us all set up, as usual. I don't know these things. I don't know the setup things. Oh, okay, and I have more books to show you from my book haul. Thank you. And we're gonna try and get this binding done and get a couple of those things done, and then we're gonna go and putz around a little bit today. Nothing. Hi Loretta. Hi Dubrovka. Yes. Excuse me. Give us a thumbs up, Thelma. Jennifer. Oh, excuse me. Donna, Susan. Thank you, Susan, for putting your name in there. Linda, Madeline, Laura. People, if I said your name twice, I'm sorry. Julie. You know that it's fall because my allergies are worse in the fall, and my sinuses, my face is all puffy, than it is in the spring. Isn't that weird? I think it's because, you know, you get the leaves falling and we have these sycamore trees out back that are just stunning. I'll be heartbroken if anything ever happens to them. But, man, when as soon as they start dropping their leaves, it's just, oh gosh, the pollen and the stuff and, oh dear. Okay, so you guys saw, gosh, this place is a mess. Oh, hi Susan. Betsy and Julie, I don't know if you caught it on yesterday's video. Please make sure that you, my email and my phone number is on, my cell phone number and my email are on the, in the description for all the videos. And I think it's on the Facebook channel, the Facebook page. But please make sure that you get me, that you either send me a text or an email today with your address and your phone number, because I got to get your mugs out, your cups out yesterday. It's overcast here, supposed to rain, but it's lovely cool. It's slightly kind of goes between overcast and slightly sunny here today. It's been in the mid 80s recently. It's been kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. We had quite the summer. We had quite the summer. Okay, so yeah, on yesterday's video, one of the things I got at the book sale, love that book sale, just love it. I'm giddy over it. I don't know why. I don't know why. A good bargain on books, I guess, just makes me giddy. This was one that I thought was fantastic. $4. And we're going to do a bunch of stuff out of here. And the reason is because it comes with the full look at that. It comes with the full block, the full pattern. It's amazing. I'm really enjoying that. And then for October, this week, we are going to start the next applique for October. I'm still working on getting a hold of them for, I was fixing my toilet. Well, Diane, that's definitely a priority. I know about those things. I'm still working on getting a hold of them for, to see if the month thing is available. Okay? So, and I'm going to sneeze here, so I apologize in advance. Ooh. Oh, gosh. Excuse me. Oh. 79 will be our high today in Cali. Currently 55. Yeah, you know what? I was watching something. We used to live near a little town. Marking my quilt finished the top 2 years ago. It's been laying my table for 3 weeks. It's time. Yes, Madeline. Yahoo! Time to get it done. Thank you, Julie. We used to live in a little town called Granite Bay, which was a very pretty... Actually, we used to live in Granite Bay. We lived in Granite Bay in 2 different homes. And it's an expensive area. It's an expensive area to live in. Beautiful, but expensive. And I'm still a member of some Facebook groups there. And they did an event last night. And everybody, like, I was looking at the women wearing, like, sweaters. And one lady had, like, a full length, like, a long sweater, you know. And I thought, ooh, it must be getting chilly. Okay, anyway. Focus, Angela. Focus. Got my 1/4-inch seam mug. Compliments of my Cali girl, Robin. I've already had 2 cups of coffee this morning, so do a little sparkling water. Okay, anyway. Bougie. Yeah, bougie is the word for Granite Bay. Okay. Hi, Arlene. Gosh, I'm having trouble shifting gears this morning. Do you ever have mornings like that? I was just kind of wandering around my house, having coffee. Thought, oh, then I'll go quilt some stuff. Thimbleberry quilts, which I thought was adorable. More kind of country. I love that. So we're going to do some stuff out of these. I think one of the... I mentioned we're going to do a bunch of smaller... hi, Angie. Been in the 80s, but cooler today in Colorado. I think everybody's kind of making that transition where there's still like... There's warm days and cool days and warm days and cool days. And then by the end of the month, I think we'll all just be cool. I'm going to do a bunch of smaller stuff this month. So we're going to do our applique. We're going to do some placemat stuff because we got to get ready for Thanksgiving. And we're going to do some wall hangings. I'm committed to doing a really... I'm just looking for the right pattern. So if anybody has any ideas, I want to do 2 wall hangings in October. I want to do one, and I keep talking about this, and I just haven't found as many patterns that I really, really like. I want one that's probably about, I have to measure the post. Let's call it 18 inches wide, give or take. And then maybe 3 or 4 feet long. So it'd almost be like a table runner, but I want it to run vertically. So like a wall hanging, like a vertical, skinny wall hanging. That's what I'm looking for. Because I want to hang it in my entryway on this post. I've already got the little, I have this wooden thing that I've hung there at Christmas time. And I thought a quilting thing would be good there. So we're going to look for that. So if you have any ideas on that, let me know. Not going to do a lot of big projects this month. Not going to. So either in October or November, I want to do either, I mentioned it in yesterday's video, either this Amish trip around the world or the one from Jordan Fabrics. Somewhere, I have a picture, I'll try and find it tonight, of the one that Jordan Fabrics did. And she actually, that was where I got the idea of tying a quilt and actually saw the tutorial on tying a quilt. So, seasons or general for every day. I'd love one for right now that's kind of seasonal for fall, you know, maybe some, I don't know, leaf or a little pumpkin thing, or not really Halloweenish, but more fall. And then almost sounds like the bell pull style. I did. I bet it'd be cool if you designed an applique for that. Ooh, that would be fun. Wouldn't that be cool? What would you like on it? Any thoughts? Maybe some pumpkins. I had a... This just shows you what how squirrel my brain is right now. I actually had... I showed it in yesterday's video. That little acorn. It said it was a wall hanging, but it was small to be a wall hanging. You know, like a little acorn, maybe a pumpkin, maybe a maple leaf. It's all coming together, isn't it? So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Oh, I just opened my drawer and I just saw our sampler quilt. We've got to work on that. So there's lots of stuff that we have to work on. We're not in any lack of things to do. Okay? All right. So what I'm going to do now... Oh my gosh, that would be a cute idea. Maybe I should just do that. Maybe I should take like the one we just did. Oh, it's on my nightstand because I was stitching the blanket stitch. Can we do a Christmas wall hanging with some of those wonky trees? Yes. We are going to do we're going to do the tree again. We'll probably start it beginning of November. We'll go through the whole pattern. We'll post the pattern. Something with a main word, but you interchange by seasons or a month within that word. Oh, how fun. God, you guys are... How creative are you guys? Holy cow. I gotta get a haircut today. Yeah, I could do one with these. The one we just did, this one, I don't know what November looks like. We'll have to pull November out. Oh. Oh. Man. Great ideas. Okay, this is going in the kitchen now. We'll use that. For that. Right there. Okay. So I figured while you guys were here, having your coffee or whatever, do you mind if I just work on the binding and we'll just chat? That's about what I got the speed for right now. Yeah. Let's bind this puppy. Let's bind this puppy and get her out of here. We gotta finish the first part of it, but we have to glue on the other side, which that I may do on the big ironing board because it's a bit of a challenge on this little one. All right, let's see here. So, what are you guys doing today? What are you working on today? Are you going to sew it all? This is one of those days I can already tell you. Like, I'll wander in here for a little bit. Do you ever have days like that where you wander in for 10 or 15 minutes, you sew on something, then you go start dinner or lunch or whatever, you wander outside, and then you wander back in. That's the kind of day that I feel like we're having. We did a bunch of running around and stuff yesterday, and oh my gosh, we watched the movie. We watched the movie The Lost Bus. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. I'm just saying, you gotta watch it. It's on Apple TV. So if you have Apple TV, that's about the extent of what I know. It's called The Lost Bus. And it was fantastic. Fantastic. I loved it. Totally fantastic. Bring you in a little bit closer so I can see you. Okay. Hi, Liz. Okay. I'm all caught up on the comments, I think. No, I'm not caught up on the comments. Hold on. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. From Quilt Market. I don't know. Mr. and Mrs. Squarecrow for my son's garden. Oh my gosh, that sounds adorable, Sandra. Watch one plan over there. In Houston. I'm hand sewing on my EPP baby quilt. Wow, Linda. Amazing. Knitting. Yay. I actually brought my crochet in last night, but I got so wrapped up in the movie, I couldn't even crochet. To recut for a quilt block. Wow, Donna, that sounds cool. Cutting batting for granddaughter's quilt for Christmas. I have got all out of sorts here. I was talking. I mentioned that the lady, our bookkeeper, tax girl. She's my age. She's older than I am. Anyway, not relevant. She's a crocheter. And for Christmas this year, she's already told her grandkids that they're getting gifts from grandma. Handmade gifts from grandma. And you know, I know in the moment, especially when you're a kid, you know, kids want kid stuff. I know. They want toys and games and all that stuff. But part of that is because the one thing that they can't see is that much further down the road. And oh wow, Laura, cool. Your first quilt show expo. I know it's. I tell you what, if you go in with any amount of money, it's going to be gone times 3. Oh, I know what I was talking about. Christmas stuff. So I agree that kids have to have that balance. They got to have contemporary stuff and fun stuff and stuff that they want. But the things as you get older, what they can't see down the road is what you'll remember down the road is the stuff that someone made for you. You just will. And those are the things that just make it special. I mean, the stuff that I have in my one linen closet, I'll have to pull it out one day, are some quilts and some things that Steve's mom made years and years and years and years and years ago. And so when she passed away, his sisters kind of, you know, went through everything and all that kind of good stuff. And then, you know, divvied up quilts and blankets and things that she had made. And, like, those are the things that we have. Those are the things that you keep, especially as you get older. How nasally do I sound today? I sound awful. I sound awful in my own head. Okay, let's see. Went fast. I have learned to leave the CC at home and only take the cash. I know. That's what I was just going to say. If you take a credit card with you, forget it. Forget it. Yeah, just the cash you want to spend. Makes it easier. Gosh, Angela, come on. My 1/4 inch seems a little off today. Anyway, the movie The Lost Bus, very, very good. And not the kind of thing you're going to be able to watch while you're doing too many other things. So, put it on after dinner and put your feet up, and there's just a lot going on. It was super good. Super, super good. All right. Let's get this thing a little bit untwisted and a little bit rolled better here. I can't believe this thing is almost done. To be honest with you, by the time I got the top finished, I didn't think I'd ever finish it. I really didn't. Like, ever. Do you have projects like that where you're like, yeah, the quilt top is beautiful, but I don't know that I have the energy to do the rest of it? A little off here. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. Not anymore. Okay. So smart and extremely disciplined. I have been to many when I had an embroidery business. It was nothing for me to drop $700 on thread alone. When I quit that for a while, that spending kept going, and I have a few lifetime Lost Best. Yeah, you gotta watch it. Robin, you definitely have to watch it. It brings back, it just brings back what happened during the Paradise Fire in 2018. And yeah, tell you what, those wildfires. You know, and it talks about, which I guess you learn living in different parts of the country. You know, I was born and raised in California. I lived in California my entire life until 4 years ago when we moved to Florida. And so my only experience, obviously, that's how life is. My only experience with how things were handled for emergencies was from California. And what I was thinking when I was watching that movie was, you know, they were trying to evacuate everybody out of the area because the Paradise Fire had gotten so quickly out of control. And so they quickly determined that they just had to evacuate. They had to get everybody out of, there's 3 or 4 towns that kind of cluster in that area. Anyway, but part of the problem was there were people trying to get out of the area and emergency workers, firefighters, and all that kind of jazz trying to get into the area. And here's what it got me thinking about. In Florida, when there's a hurricane, they, you know, you have evacuation routes, but everybody's trying to get out. The only real, you know, they're not trying to fight the hurricane. They're just trying to get everybody out. So they open up roads and that kind of thing, and everybody's going in one, like all the freeway, they'll just turn all 4 lanes into, you know, you just go. You can't do that in like fire. I just found that really interesting. The random stuff that comes out of this brain. I tell you what, I don't know. Guys are in for a ride. Okay, let's do our corner here. Do our little miter. All right, let's do this. Let's back this up a little bit so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit here. Okay. All right, let's see. Handing him the wood. Well, Donna, you go, girl. I was gonna say, sometimes you get stuck working on those projects with your husband or whomever, and we've done that for so long. I love doing that stuff with him. It's a great way to be together. I know, the ceiling, good heavens, Donna. Holy cow. All right, let's get this thing turned. So I am excited. It's odd because usually at the start of a month, like I have a clear idea of the stuff I want to do or the projects I want to work on, and there's usually just too many to do with all of you guys. And this month, I don't know, I'm having a hard time figuring out what I want to do. What I want to do next. September was all about finishing stuff up, and now I finished a bunch of stuff. Now what? I want to make sure I keep on top of the comments. All right, let's see here. Put that down. I'm excited to think this thing's almost done. Holy cow. Okay. My cut was a little off there. Let's see. I'll be right back. There. Okay. The one thing I will say for the month of October, small projects. Small projects. Now, when we evacuated Hurricane Ivan, there were many utility trucks headed to the hurricane area. Huh. Yeah, I imagine that in some areas, in lots of areas, I'm probably oversimplifying it. You know, in terms of people getting who's going in and who's going out. The movie just kind of reminded me that there was just so many people trying to get in. Likewise, so many people trying to get out. Okay. Okay. All right. We're caught up on the comments. Okay. So I think we're gonna go for a little drive today. Just some quiet time. There's a bunch of yard projects that you guys have heard me talk about, the planter and a bunch of this other stuff that we've finished. And right now we're kind of, in the summer down here, you're mowing the grass like twice a week. So by the time you pick up the clippings and, trim stuff, and you gotta start all over again. Well, right now we're kind of in this weird, start of winter. Not really the start of winter, but we're not quite mowing that often. Like maybe once a week right now. And so it's leaving us a little extra time to go do some other stuff. So I think today we're going to go and take Minnie, go bum around town a little bit, wander in and quilt a little bit, wander outside. And try and mentally regroup for tomorrow. It's going to be a busy, busy, busy day tomorrow. Lots to do. Makes you cherish your Sundays, right? Let's just make sure here that I've got everybody. I've seen everybody's comments. Da-da-da. Okay. I'm just a support crew. He's currently up 20 feet. It scares the crap out of me. Holy cow! I can't, and the older that Steve and I get, the worse it gets. But like I was never a big fan of ladders, and I'm even less of a fan of ladders now. Oh my gosh. I just don't like heights. I think part of it is you just become acutely aware of how much it will. Hi, Jackie. How much it will hurt if you fall. I think that's how much it will hurt, how damaging it will be if you fall. I think that's really what a lot of it comes down to. Okay. All right. Binding along. Wait, hold on. No. Way off. Way off. Oh, but you know what? I think I can turn this up a little bit today. The light. There. When I have the little camera on the machine, well, I'll turn it on the machine so you guys can see part of that. But, I can't see what I'm doing. I have to turn the light down because otherwise it blows that, it's too bright on the camera. But I also can't see what I'm doing. So, it's all a balance. It's all just one big balance. All right, let's see here. Close that. Put that back on. And off. One, two more sides to go. It is amazing during a hurricane or natural disasters, the protocols and the plans, evacuation plans, all that stuff that areas have in place. It's pretty amazing. Okay, I'm caught up. How cold does it get in Florida? You can enjoy using the quilts you make, right? Well, where we live, yes. Where we live, we are in central Florida. So if you look where the Gulf of America is, we are kind of in the middle. Near our next, we're about an hour north of Tampa, Clearwater Beach, Clearwater area. And we're just west of Ocala, or south of Ocala. In the winter here, it gets, for me it gets cold. It gets comparable to California. A little bit warmer than Northern California got. So, in the winter, during the day, it's usually, the nice thing is that during the day, it does not get as cold as it did in California. So during the day, it's usually like, I don't know, the low is maybe in the 50s ish, somewhere in the 50s. That's when it's like January. That's when it's really cold. It's in like the 50s, low 50s. Those of you that live in like Madeline and Betsy. Sorry, I'm sorry. At night, it gets down to it's usually consistently like in the 40s, high 40s. And then, I did it again. Angela, pay attention. I came right off the side. And then we usually have, sometime like January, February, I guess, we usually have about a week or two where it gets down near freezing, where you've got to cover your plants and stuff. But that usually doesn't last very long. I said I was sorry. I'm sorry. The last big book you showed, were there any blocks for foundation paper piecing? Well, Dubrovka, let's go to the book. I think I need to go and have something to eat too, because I'm feeling a little, not really dizzy. All right, let's see. Oh, wrong one. Okay, let's see. I don't know specifically. Although, look at that. It's a table runner, but that's about the right orientation for what I'm looking for in my entryway. Let's look at this one and see if there's anything in here. Not words. In the winter, we get down as low as 15 degrees. Yeah. Such a wuss. No. Yeah. I couldn't do 15 degrees. Where Betsy gets and they're snowed in and it's like 0, no. I couldn't. I would be a mental health candidate. I would not know what to do with myself. I don't think that I could do that. After 2 weeks here where it's like freezing, where I gotta cover my plants, I'm out. Yeah, Angie, that one is, I was stunned to find that one. All right, let's see if this has any. Oh my gosh. My grandmother, Jackie, I didn't realize you were from Chicago. My grandmother was from Chicago. And she, oh my gosh. Some of these things, I tell you what, some of these, you know, Better Homes and Gardens, just these quilting books that you can find. They're just amazing. It's just amazing stuff. All right, let's see. I'm going to have to see if there's anything on paper piecing in any of these. There was a book that I saw that talked about paper piecing, Dubrovka. I'm going to have to, maybe Steve and I will wander back over there today. Maybe I'll run in and see if they have something like that. Okay. We can drop below freezing here. It's even snowed a few years. Crazy. Yeah, it's good. Last winter, it was very, very cold. We lost a bunch of trees and stuff, a bunch of plants and stuff like that. It was somewhere in the 20s. But that was odd. Okay. My grandmother was born and raised in Chicago. Hang on. What's happening here? Okay, there we go. My grandmother was born and raised in Chicago. She passed away. She passed away in 2022. The beginning part of 2022. But she was born and raised in Chicago, and she worked in the garment district, in what they used to call the rag business, sewing houses and that kind of thing. And that was where she learned to sew. And my grandfather, they got married, and my grandfather went off to World War II, and he was stationed. I want to say in Pearl Harbor, but I don't remember for sure. Anyway, so my grandmother hated the Chicago winters, hated them, and when he got back from the war, she said, I'm moving to California. My sister moved to California. It's nice there. It's warm. I don't want to live in the snow anymore. It's a mess all the time. I'm moving to California. And I'm not saying that you have to go with me, but I'm going to California. So if you'd like to be with me, that's where I'll be. And my grandparents moved to California. Okay. Yeah, you know what? And it's a pain in the patootie with like fruit trees and stuff. You know, we have a bunch of fruit trees and things that we've planted obviously in the last few years that aren't really mature yet. And it's a pain because you're trying to cover them, and some of them are too tall. I mean, and plant covers and all that kind of stuff is expensive. Don't ask me what I use, because you guys will just go ballistic. And you'll say, "Oh, you're not supposed to use that stuff," but I do, because otherwise I'd have to sell my house to be able to afford the, you know, weather, what do they call it? You know, frost protector. Yeah, it's expensive. We get a lot of landscaping, so we just don't do that. Climate is changing for sure. Absolutely, Jackie. We get to 0 and a foot of snow and can be back to 50 the next day and scooping snow in t-shirts. Ha! Lived in Orlando area many years ago, and over Christmas it got into the low 20s. It's hard on the oranges. Yeah, it's really hard on the, like, we have citrus trees. We have 3 citrus trees. And it is. I'm going to tell you a little trick that we're going to try this year, though. We're very excited about it. We are 10 miles from the Gulf in Alabama. And last winter in February, we had 8 inches of snow. The first I'd seen in 20 years. Holy cow, Linda. Temperatures here are currently... Yeah, you know what? Madeline was just talking about how warm it was. Your grand was serious. Callie, there she went. That's right. That's it. Moved to California. And, yeah. That was it. She was done. She was in and done. All right. So yeah, okay. Here's our hack. We saw this from a a guy who owns a landscaping company and I think he has a landscaping company, and he has his yard is full of all manner of fruit trees and citrus trees and that kind of thing. And he we're a little off there. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. All right. And he's never lost a citrus tree, supposedly. Never lost a citrus tree yet. Better Homes and Gardens quilt book. Hold on, Madeline. Hang on. Oh no, I don't think I have enough binding cut. I still have to do 2 more sides, I think. 1, 2. Oh, I gotta open this thing up and see if I need to make more binding. Okay, let me see. Let's get caught up here. Okay. Home and Gardens 1. The Home and Gardens one was a small one, and I don't have it here. It's in my bedroom. Sorry. So I don't know which one you are looking for, Madeline. So I'll hold up the ones that I have in here, because the Home and Gardens one was a really thin, small book. So I will hold up the ones that I have here, and then you guys can go on Amazon or eBay or Marketplace or whatever, or when you're at a book sale, you know, a Friends of the Library book sale or what have you, you can look for them. So this one is by PIL? Publications International? Yeah. Publications International Ltd. So you guys, this one, here's this one. It's not by, I think I said Better Homes and Gardens, but it's not Better Homes and Gardens. So there's this one by Publications International Limited. This one, darn, bottle of water. The Simple Joys of Quilting is by, all of the rest of these are by Martingale. Martingale. Okay, there's that one. The Thimbleberries, At Home with the Thimbleberries Quilts by Lynette Jansen. I don't think this is... I don't think this is Better Homes and Gardens either. Rawdale Press. I thought I just saw something that said Martin... maybe not. I don't know. There's that one. This one, there's multiple different variations on this. I'll hold up the other ones, but I haven't shown you these yet. This one I thought was adorable because they're all very bright. These are all from Martindale Press. So far, I don't think anything says... ouch. Yeah. Look at this one. Have fun. All... Madeline, you would love this one. All super bright. Just so colorful. So fun. A lot of applique stuff. Look at this. Is this adorable? Oh my gosh. Would I just die if I could actually finish that? Thimbleberries is from many, many years ago. Look at this. How fun for a kid. This one by Scholastic. Quilts from the Quilt Maker's Gift. I have gotten a lot of good on the website, Abe's Books. Okay, Betsy gave us a tip, Abe's Books. This one just had some fun, more traditional type stuff. Oh, there's another around the world. Trip around the world. I'm doing a trip around the world. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going to get myself together before the end of the year. You mark my words. I don't think Martingale is in business either anymore. We're doing this. Nickel quilts. I got this one because everybody always loves scrap stuff. Great designs from 5-inch scraps. Cool. Ah! Paducah 9 patch. That one looks fun. This one looks very ambitious for me, but fun to look at. Celtic quilts. Look at all this design. All that turning. I don't know. I don't know that I'm this ambitious. I'm gonna sneeze again. Look at that. Well, look who made an appearance from the bed. Come here, Min. Come here by Mom. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Did you finish eating your breakfast? Yeah, did you? Good girl. We're going to go for a ride. Yeah. Tell everybody that you had to sleep in a little bit because you were so tired because we were up late watching a movie last night. Yeah, scary movie with kids. All right, let's see. One year my son put barrels next to each... Oh, I forgot to tell you what I was going to do. Yeah. Here's the thing. You know, you plant a fruit tree, or we have avocado. Now I want to go quilt book shopping. Oh, I know. I know. I'd forgotten that the book sale was still going on. Minnie, everybody says hello. Betsy says hi, Minnie, and Linda says hi, Minnie, and Jackie says you're very cute. What sewing machine do you use? Hi, Kathy. How wide is the throat space? Does it have speed control? How do you like the stitches? I love how quiet it is. Robin says, Minnie! Gosh, frustrating. All of Mom's quilting friends, huh? Okay. Precious, precious little dog. Yeah. My little girl, huh? Yeah. My little, what's the matter? What's that sound? Are you ready to go outside and go potty? Okay, 5 minutes. All right. I'm shopping on eBay now. Okay, let me go back. So, the hack was this for the fruit trees. Christmas lights. Christmas lights around the base of the tree, or all the way up, but near the trunk. Because it was just enough, and on, you know, just left them on. Now, is it gonna, you know, you're gonna have a little bit of extra in your electric bill for a week or two, but it was just enough ambient to keep the temperature just a few degrees higher, and you know, it was easy on, easy off. So we're gonna try that this year. Now, what's the matter? Go lay in your bed. Go ahead. Where's Dad? Where's Dad at? We have orange, lemon, tangerine, orange, lemon, tangerine, peach, avocado. That's what we have. And people get panicked because they're expensive. I mean, it's expensive to buy them. It takes a lot to nurture them past, you know, the pot. And then you get them going and they start producing fruit, and then it freezes and it's all over. So, yeah. And there's so much, like, it's amazing how many memories you find. You know, I don't know if Steve and I will stay in this house forever and ever. I don't know if someday we might sell this house and move. But you have such a connection to these things because, like, we dug the hole. When I say we dug the hole, I mean Steve, for the most part, dug the hole, and I watched. Right? We planted these trees with our own 2 hands and hand watered them for weeks and weeks to make sure that they would take. And then, you know, and got so excited. Oh my gosh. You know, we practically called out the whole neighborhood when, you know, we had a tangerine on the tree. And it's just heartbreaking to think that, you know, in one fall swoop, a couple of days of cold temperatures, it could all be gone. Anyway. All right, let's go back to, let's be serious now. Serious about quilting. Kathy. Okay.
Q-U-I.
You know, she never responds when I need her to. She suddenly plays stupid. And then when I don't ask for her advice, she starts talking. Okay, my machine. I will do a video this week and put it up. So, Kathy, be sure to keep an eye out, okay? I have a Baby Lock machine, and this is the Baby Lock Crescendo. 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 It has the Baby Lock Crescendo was kind of designed. It's supposed to be like a quilter's machine. It was kind of designed to be a quilter's machine. I got very lucky with mine. You guys have heard me talk about it a couple of times. We had been shopping at I was originally going to buy a $50 sewing machine off of Amazon. And there's nothing wrong with having a $50 sewing machine from Amazon or Walmart or wherever. But Steve was like, come on, let's buy something a little bit better, something that will give you a little bit more longevity if you're serious about doing this, which I was. So In Sacramento, we went to a big company, a big sewing company in Sacramento, and that worked on all kinds of sewing machines and commercial sewing machines, and had a big showroom, and they had all the quilting, all the sewing machines, Bernina, Juki, Baby Lock, Brother. Did I say Bernina? Husqvarna. Did all of them. And we started looking, and I relatively quickly fell in love with the Baby Lock machines because they're very easy to learn and they're very intuitive. Okay, so it kind of thinks the way that you would think. A lot of them, like if you look at the Bernina stuff, and some of them are very sleek looking. I wanted something where I could see, I could see where my controls were, what I was doing, and Baby Lock just seemed to really fit the build for that. Now, this particular machine was really designed for quilters. So it has a larger throat, has a wider throat. I'll tell you how long the throat is. If I could find a ruler. Because like any good quilter, the one thing I can never find is a stinking ruler. Okay, we'll just use those. So, the throat on this machine is from the center of the needle let's call it almost 12 inches. Just shy of 12 inches. So, and almost 6 inches, like 5 3/4 inches tall. So it's got a good sized throat. I could put my whole hand in here, and it's not, I got plenty of room. It's a very wide throat. It does some creative stitches, some character stitches. It does some monogramming. It does some of that fancy type stuff, but not a lot. It's not really an embroidery machine, which I didn't want. I didn't care about having an embroidery machine. It is very quiet. It's very quiet. The Crescendo and Betsy Boyle has the Brother version of my machine, and I don't remember what the Betsy. If you're still there, Betsy, I don't know what the name of your machine is. I don't know what the Brother name for my machine is. Anyway, it has something, and this was the first. Now, my machine's a few years old now, obviously, but this was the first version of Baby Lock in their line of machines. In their line, this was the Crescendo was the first machine in that in their line that has the little laser. I'll do this. I can show you the laser. Those of you that have never seen it, it's fantastic. Okay, so here's my machine. I have my walking foot on right now, obviously, because we're working on this stuff. And I'm going to turn the light way down. Otherwise, you can't really see. Okay, so that's without the light. With the light on, it's nice and bright. Not by my machine at the moment. Okay, so that's that. All right, now it has this. Can you guys see that? So it's a little tiny laser beam that shoots out from the needle forward, and it's about 4 inches, 3 or 4 inches, and it's a great guide. If you're doing like half square triangles or that kind of thing, it's a great guide. You can also bump your needle over or bump the laser over and leave your needle where it's at, and you know you're sewing on a quarter if you're trying to do half square triangles where you're sewing on either side of a line. I love the laser. I never ever thought I would use it. In fact, the sales lady kept piping on about this laser, and I was like, okay, all right, fine, you and your laser. I use it all the time. All the time. Let me see what else you asked. Does it have speed control? I imagine by speed control, yes, it does have speed control right here. So I can go super slow, or I can go super fast. And it's usually, obviously, like most people, I'm usually right in the middle. How do I like the stitches? I love the stitches. I love the stitch variety. There's more stitches in here than you'll ever, I'm sure like most people with their sewing machines, unless you have a very, very, very basic 2 or 3 stitch sewing machine, there's more stitches in here than I'll ever use. I don't even know how many there are. There's pages and pages of stitches. I could never use them all. And I will say this, making changes to your stitches is also very easy and very intuitive. So if you want to change the width, it's right there. It says width. Bump it down, bump it up. It's very easy. I love it. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't give this machine up. You couldn't pry it out of my cold, dead hands. I love it. And I'm so, it makes me love him all the more because my husband talked me into it. This machine was a little bit more than, considerably more than I was looking to spend. It was, I don't really know the pricing. Isn't that terrible? I don't remember what we paid for it, and I don't remember what it was new. You don't have to start here. I think that the Baby Lock line is great. That's everybody has their favorite. I like Baby Lock. We had been shopping, looking at the different Baby Locks, and I had kind of been on a much lower model. And the sales lady that we worked with, it also has obviously the bigger table, removable bigger table. The sales lady that was helping us said, I have something you should probably come and look at. And it was in their used section, their kind of refurbished section, because they worked on machines and all that kind of good stuff. And the woman that had bought this machine was a quilter. And she had always had, I want to say Juki, but it could have been Bernina. I don't remember. And she bought this machine. She kind of talked herself into it, I guess. Or the salesperson had talked her into it. I don't know, because it was really earmarked as a quilter's machine. And she bought it. Bought a gazillion. I'm still finding little feet and additional feet and things that she bought, quilting feet that she bought for this machine. She bought packs of needles, all kinds of just little, little things to go with it. And when she sold it back she basically did a trade-in. She had it for, I think she put like 100 hours on it. I don't even think it was 100 hours. And she went back into the store and said, I just don't like it. It's just not like my old machine, and I want my old machine back. And so she bought a new, either Bernina or Juki or whatever it is that she bought, and traded this in. And we got a great, great deal on it. Great deal on it. If you're looking for a sewing machine, my advice would be to do what my husband told me to do and not what is in my nature. Because what my husband said to do was, let's go to an actual sewing place. Let's go to an actual quilting place or sewing machine. They still have sewing machine. They're usually sew-and-vac stores. Go in there. See what they rep or what they have. Blah, blah, blah. Because it gave me the opportunity to find something I liked, figure out what brand I liked, go to a quilt show, sit down and sew. There's any quilt show, they always have 2 or 3 of the manufacturers have a big, huge booth, and sit down and sew at them. That was how I figured out that I liked Baby Lock. Okay, Dubrovka has the Brother Luminaire, and it also has a laser. This also has a pen where you can plot out stitches, which I've never used. I don't even know how to use it. So Brother Luminaire and I want to say that the Brother Luminaire is very close, maybe a step up or so, and also has the laser. The laser is fantastic. I use it, if not every time I'm sewing, every other time. Betsy has a Brother Innovis VQ2400. It's in the comments. Screenshot it. Kathy, and Betsy says she loves it. She has several million stitches on a stitch counter. I don't doubt it. Betsy sews Betsy sews like someone's chasing her. She's serious. She does a lot. And yeah, I don't know how many. I don't think this can be right. Um, you're very welcome, Kathy. Thank you. Thanks for being here. We're so glad you're here, Kathy. Do you sew now? Are you sewing anything? Erlene has had 3 Vikings. Viking is another brand that I forgot. Viking, very, very popular. You have to figure out what you like and what fits you. Madeline has a Brother Innovis. Again, that Innovis line. Brother and Baby Lock are either manufactured in the same place or owned by the same place. Madeline has a Brother Innovis NQ450. Loves it. Jean has a Bernina 790 and plus and a Viking. Wow. And I think I looked at the Bernina 790 and I may have gone Bernina had I not fallen in love with Baby Lock. I don't think this is right, but who knows? I think maybe Betsy can tell me, or Madeline. So I'm in my menu, the last page of my menu, and it says SCS. Is that the stitch count number? Oh, well, here's one way to try. Here's one way to find out. It is. Oh my gosh, my sewing machine has 875,000 stitches. What? Okay, that's it. You know what this means, don't you? Betsy, you know what this means. It's the race to 1,000,000. We have to get to 1,000,000. And no, I'm not just going to sit here and sew on a piece of fabric. I'll back off those 3 stitches if it's really that important. Janome. Janome was another one. Janome 6500 and a Baby Lock Allegra, and I'm assuming that she really likes them both. My sister has a Viking Sapphire, and she loves it. Donna has a Janome and a Brother 6 needle. 6 needle would be an embroidery machine. I made a crazy quilt, and quilting in the ditch. I use a different stitch for each seam. It's very unique. And you want to find something. Finished quilting on my quilt top, and I'm frustrated because the throat space is small. You can't catch me. I won't be able to catch Betsy because by the time I get to 1,000,000, she'll be at 2. But I think a little competition might be fun. I'm a big fan of betting $5. Steve and I have a $5 bill on the refrigerator, so whenever there's like a sports, like the Super Bowl or the World Series or something on, or something, a golf match, something that we are both only minutely invested in, we bet $5. That's all we bet. We bet the $5 on the fridge. And we just leave the $5 on the fridge. So, Betsy, you're on, sister. $5. Okay, Sandra has 3 Janomes, a Bernina, Singers, Featherweights, Pfaff, loves them all. Holy cow, I'm going to Sandra's house. I did that too, Arlene. Sandra, I know. Jeez. Sandra. I'm at 3,000,000 now. Go. Ah, crap. I may have to just sit here and sew back and forth on fabric so that I can catch Betsy and win my $5. I think that Sandra has her own sewing machine store. No kidding. Can't give them to you. Oh, she has her mom's Singers. My grandmother sewed on Singer machines. But she sewed commercially. She didn't sew for fun. It wasn't, she sewed as a business for 60 years. Yeah, probably coming up on 60 years. It wasn't for relaxation. She didn't sew for something to be creative. She sewed as a business all her life. And so she had single use, single stitch sewing machines. She had an overlock machine or a serger or a straight stitch machine. So when she closed her factory down and moved it and worked from home, my parents took a spare bedroom, and she had 6 sewing machines, and she continued to work from home and build her business. I'll tell you more about that later. Okay, anyway. 5 minutes. All right, ladies, let's guess what? I'm going to go find something to eat. I think I'm going to go have an English muffin. Oh, I found at Publix, if you have a Publix. I don't know who else has them. I think they're called Stone and Hearth. I don't know. They're different kinds of, they're like flavored English muffins. Oh, they're good. The pumpkin spice. I'm going to have one of those. My mother had a Viking Designer 1 she bought in 2000 for embroidery. She passed away in 2013. The machine was not used since then. Works great. Going for a spa day. Oh, use a spa day. Actually, I just need a haircut. I just want a haircut. I don't need the whole spa. Okay. Oh my gosh. Angie says, I have my grandma's Singer in the cabinet. She bought new in 1904. It works fine, but I don't use it. I can imagine. Wow. That's amazing, Angie. What a great story. You have to post your picture. Post a picture of your grandmother's sewing machine on the Facebook page and on the YouTube community page. That's cool. I'd love to see that. I'm going to go hang out with my husband and my dog, my little girl, and have a snack. And then I think I'm going to go get a haircut. And I think we're going to go putz around for today. And I'm going to wander in and sew for a few minutes and wander out and sew and not sew for a few minutes and try and catch Betsy and her 3 million stitches. Doubtful, but we can all wish. Betsy has a 1953 featherweight. I'm going to have to get a featherweight. Madeline, I haven't found the stitch counter on mine. Oh, well, Madeline and Betsy, you're going to put me to shame. I'm not betting my $5 with anybody else. I'll try to post it. Okay. I think today I will end up finishing this by the time the day is over. So hopefully I'll have something for you guys to look at tomorrow. Have a fantastic afternoon. Erlene has a 1921 treadle Singer. That's amazing. Bye, Jean. Happy Sunday, Sandra. My mother's beige Singer that I learned to sew on I was 6. Oh my gosh, Madeline, what another great story. You have to post a picture of that. Bye, Loretta. Have a wonderful day, Angela. And everyone, Kathy, have a great afternoon. Have a great afternoon. Have a fabulous morning tomorrow. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, Dubravka. Bye, Robin. And remember, only a 1/4 inch seam. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.